Hello, I'm Rachel Wiest. I'm here with Stacy Anfinson. Hello, Stacy.
Hello, Rachel.
We're going to talk about the first quarter of 2013. It's flew by, and here we are. And we're going to talk about first some of the basic factors that we take a look at, and then you had some comments you wanted to make about new construction. So, how did the market look in the first quarter?
Well, we're on the back patio here at RRAR, and it's covered with pollen, and it's indicative of spring, and the market really sprung forward in the first quarter. Showings were up 16%. Inventory was down 21%.
Wow.
And the new home inventory was down 20%, and resale inventory was down 22%.
Goodness. So they're flying off the shelf, as they say.
Absolutely.
Excellent. How about distressed properties?
Well, one of the things that we were kind of looking for during the quarter was whether we'd see more foreclosure properties come on the market, and we saw less in listed within MLS, and foreclosure filings in the 4 main counties were down 14% comparing first quarter of this year with the first quarter of last year.
Interesting, interesting. So that shadow inventory people kept talking about is either hanging out in the shadows, or it just really wasn't as bad as people expected.
Still hanging out in the shadows, and it can stay there as far as we're concerned.
Well, if we piecemeal it into the system, then it won't be a bad hit at all. Okay, well, how about pendings and closings?
Once again, both positive metrics for the market. We're probably about on a 10 or 11 month streak in terms of double-digit percentage increases. Pending sales were up 25%, and closed sales were also up 25%.
Excellent. That is just outstanding. Okay, so new construction. What are we seeing in new construction? It was delayed for a while, and what's happening now?
Well, I think one of the things that we're trying to figure out in terms of when is our house price increases coming, because we've had lower inventory and higher sales, and everybody's reading national news about house prices going up, and home sellers here are thinking, well, when's my house price going up? A couple metrics that I looked at in the new construction market. First off was the percentage of new home sellers, builders, that had a price drop. Last year it was 30% of new home inventory had at least one price drop, and this year it was 13% of new home sellers that had a price drop. So one of the ways, or probably the way, that builders price their houses is cost plus margin equals sales price, and when the market went south, they weren't able to get that, so they had to drop price. Now when you see that percentage go from 30 down to 13, it's more indicative of buyers accepting that cost plus margin price.
Okay, so you think that this is a reflection of the builders actually being able to make a living at building these houses?
Yeah, and I think one of the things you always have to remember is that the new home market leads the way. It's where decor comes from, it's where house prices increasing or decreasing comes from, and so that's one of the things that we kind of look into. What future metrics can we look at in terms of what will happen with house prices? Okay,
excellent, excellent. How about over and being over and under in certain price categories? Is that still an issue here? Or?
Well, as we've talked about before, when you have an undersupply of a thing, the price for the future should go up. If you have an oversupply of a thing, the price should go down. If you go back about 3 or 4 years ago, 56% of the new home price brackets had an oversupply of housing. Now it's down to 13%. 2% 4 or 5 years ago had an undersupply of housing, and now it's up to 17%. So both of those are positive indicators about what could happen with house prices in the future. Both of those indicate that house prices should go up.
Excellent, excellent. Well, everybody should remember that this coming weekend, April 20th and 21st, is the National Open House Weekend. So we should be selling lots of homes. Please remember to enter the information about your open house into the MLS, into the open house fields. And we're going to actually, to entice you to do that, we're going to have a drawing of someone who actually holds an open house during the weekend, and we'll be giving away a free quarter of MLS fees. But this should also help encourage traffic within your open houses this weekend, because there is a national movement. So good luck, and we'll see you next month.